People have been lighting up my comment section, suggesting this new movie that just came out. In fact, it's only a few weeks old, and I was actually able to find a theater near me that was playing it. So I went and watched it. Let's talk about Kantara. Kantara tells the story of Shiva, a tribal vagabond who lives in a hamlet with his mother. He stays away from the Bhoota Kola legacy and instead is happy loafing around with his friends and doing odd jobs for his landlord. When forest officer Murali enters the scene to disrupt their way of life, Shiva has to decide how to deal with this new threat. The movie stars Rishab Shetty, Sapthami Gowda, Kishore Kumarji, and Achyuth Kumar. Before we get into the review, I just want to say thank you to all of you watching these movie reviews. The Indian movies have seriously blown up my channel. It's been insane. The last month has been the best month in the history of my YouTube. So it's all due to you. So I appreciate that. But there are other movies out there that are calling my name. And in fact, let me just show you that these are the ones that I've already reviewed. These have done, like I said, great on my channel. I really enjoyed watching them. And of course, the one from today, Kantara, is going to be, next. But these are the ones right here. These are the ones that have been, they're the most requested that I haven't been able to watch yet. So I'm kind of curious of if there's any of these that you want me to watch, let me know. In fact, if there's any others, go ahead and let me know too. But those are the ones that are currently like the most requested. I keep track of every comment, by the way. It's just something that I've enjoyed doing, reading all of your suggestions. It's been really awesome. This was my first Indian movie in a theater. It was an experience. It was in the Kannada language, and it had English subtitles. I was actually afraid there for a while. I was like, am I going to be, because I'm like the only I'm the only white person here. They're probably like, who is this guy? But yeah, it started off really, really good. There were people like kind of clapping and exclaiming things. It was kind of cool. And then the movie happened, but we'll talk about that later. This movie is just a vehicle for Rishab Shetty. This guy is amazingly fun to watch. I had a really, really good time watching his performance and just how much fun he seemed to be having. That's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about all of the Indian movies I've seen so far. There seems to be this passion that you just feel it, and that's great. All of the actors do a fine job, but the thing that really kind of surprised me was I didn't expect this to be as funny as it was. I mean, there were seriously like people laughing all the way through it, including me. There were some jokes that went, I'm sure, over my head because I'm not Indian, but no, it was really, really an entertaining movie to watch with an audience. Technically, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be surprised anymore. The movie looks amazing. Really, really well shot. I love the way that the camera moves. There was nothing in here that felt out of place to me. It was a really, really well done movie. The colors just pop, it's a vibrant movie. And I think that's something that's, well, frankly, it's kind of missing from Hollywood these days. But no, it looks great. And the soundscape in particular was like, it was aggressive. I'll just say that. It was like, okay, wow. And almost to the point where I'm like, does this theater have it turned up just a little too much? Because it was almost like, wow, that was, I could feel that, and it's a little further than I'm used to in a movie theater. And the music was great too. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I was just like, I felt like I was being like bombarded there for a while. Even though there are things about the culture, the Indian culture, that I won't understand. And I mean, it would take me years of living in India to kind of get some of these references and some of these jokes. The feelings that I get from the movie are undeniable. And this has been, again, across the board, all of the Indian films. I feel the passion, I feel the love, I feel the culture. And it's a testament to not only the filmmaking, but the actors themselves, bringing that in and making these, even though, we have differences in the way that our cultures feel and work and all that kind of stuff. I can still feel the emotion there and the passion there. And I think that's great. If I had a criticism, it's that the story sort of felt aimless for a while. Like there were times where I was like, what do we, what's the goal here? I feel like we're just living with these people, which is fine, but it felt like it was dragging a little bit. I don't know, and maybe that's because I'm not Indian and I don't get these references, and it was, maybe different for an outsider, but that's just kind of how I felt about it until the intermission. And then at that point, the plot really starts driving forward all the way up until the end. I will say, I'm not going to talk spoilers here because there's probably a lot of people that haven't seen this movie yet, but the movie crescendos, but then it's just over. I felt really confused. And I guess my confusion was warranted because the audience felt it too. There was not like this, it felt like it didn't have that release. A lot of the audience members around me seemed to be sort of like, oh, it's over now. Now, speaking of the audience, I've seen some of these different reactions and like, I guess, filming in the theater, during the movie. And I've seen how rowdy some of these screenings can get. So that's kind of what I was expecting going in. And honestly, it started off great. And people were whistling and talking to the screen and stuff at the beginning. And I was like, okay, this is almost to the point where it was actually bringing tears to my eyes, because it was like, oh man, this is what I came for. And then it just kind of, it just flattened out. And throughout the movie, people were just talking, and not like talking as in like, you get that feeling of excitement or whatever. It was just like random people just talking. And then the guy next to me he actually took 2 phone calls and was on his phone for like 15 minutes. Now, normally that annoys me. It really gets to me. But I was so locked into the movie because I don't speak the language. I have to read these subtitles. It didn't bother me as much as it normally would have, but it was still kind of like, are people just not into this? Overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I really did. But I guess the thing is for me, RRR seems a little more universal to me. Like I think some of the jokes, I felt like they were kind of like inside jokes where I was like, I don't understand, and I don't know anybody in the audience. So it's not like I can go, hey, well, what the hell, what was that? But no, it was fun. It was fun. And I think, for Indian audiences, I think absolutely go see this movie. I think you're really going to enjoy it. I think for American audiences, I think you should maybe try RRR first. So Kantara, like I said, it was a blast. It was really cool to have that experience with an audience and kind of enjoy the laughter and all that kind of stuff. It was a good time. But I'm kind of curious, how about you? What do you think of it? Are you as big on this movie as I am, or are you sort of like, well, it had these problems and whatever? Let me know down below and we'll talk about it. And of course, keep those recommendations coming. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.